Hello, this video is going to be my October favourites, so all the beauty things I have loved throughout October, all the like standouts. And I know I said last month was like palette September month and I was done discovering palettes, but then I found this one, and this is the Urban Decay Vice 2 palette. And I'm just going to show you this, how it opens quickly, because it just, oh, it's so cool. You press a button and the lid slides open, but apart from that, there are 20 shades in here. And the reason I was drawn to this was because I normally own like all the neutral palettes there are, but this has like some really interesting shades. You've got a mossy green in there, you've got like a dark green, you've got some blues. Not sure if I'm going to get much use out of the pinks, but the rest of them I have dabbled in and they are really, really amazing. As usual, Urban Decay eyeshadows, they know what they're doing. They are buttery soft, they're so long lasting, so pigmented. I've got this one here doped all over my lid today, and then I have Ambush in the crease a little bit and Rewind to kind of blend them all together. And then along the bottom lash line, this is where it gets exciting, I used Betrayal, which is like this kind of duochrome blue purple, which is so, so beautiful. And also, this whole thing is a mirror. You have the biggest mirror ever here. It's really, really so useful, especially if you're traveling. So if you're looking for a really fun palette, this is definitely the one to look out for. And surprisingly, I absolutely love this brush. You get a little bit of a fluffy one for the crease and then a more kind of condensed brush to kind of pack it on a bit more. I've done a 3 ways to wear the Vice 2 palette post, so I will link that below if you fancy seeing that. All my favourite looks that I've created from this palette. Speaking of palettes, I wanted to quickly show you this, and this is my MAC palette. And although it only has 2 shades in here, I just kind of bought this and now I'm looking to fill it up, so let me know what your favourite MAC eyeshadow is. The next thing is this little pot of concealer, and this is the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer. And I do have a couple of acne scars. I have a couple on my forehead and my chin and that kind of thing. Let me know if you fancy seeing a video on like how I cover all those marks, but it's basically all down to this stuff. This is the thickest concealer you will ever find. It can literally cover a tattoo. I think it is so, so, so pigmented. Whatever you've got to hide, this covers it. I pack it on with this little flat brush here and then blend all the edges in with the warmth of my fingertip. Concealing my marks isn't the only reason I love this. I kind of mix it with a bit of moisturizer, create your own tinted moisturizer, conceal my bags under my eyes if I've had like very little sleep. This is absolutely incredible. This pot is actually like super, super tiny. It's like half the size of my thumb, but seeing as I've had this since last November, so almost a year, and I've hardly dented it at all because you need the tiniest amount. It is that pigmented. I really think it's actually, in the long run, quite worth it if you have a lot of stuff to cover like I do. I have 2 lip crayons to show you, and the first one is a nude, and this is the Hourglass Femme Nude Lip Stilo in number 3, and these come in 6 shades, and it's supposed to be like find the perfect nude for you. And the number 3 was the kind of more pinky peachiest nude of the bunch, and I absolutely love this. This is my perfect nude as they wanted it to be. It's just so, so beautiful, and it doesn't make your skin look kind of like aged at all. Sometimes I find nudes can make you look much more older than you actually are, and it's really kind of brightening, and it's matte as well, which I absolutely love. The only problem is the formula is a little bit drying, so I do make sure I pop a balm underneath this, but that doesn't bother me at all because it is the perfect shade of nude. I absolutely adore it. And this is the other little lip crayon I have to show you, and this is the Clinique Chubby Stick in Grandest Grape. You can tell how much I've loved this little guy because he's like really, really flat, the poor thing. I need to really like work out how to sharpen this or something, but this is what I've got on my lips now. It is my perfect autumn winter lip colour. It was my perfect autumn winter lip colour last year, and it was actually the first kind of coloured lip I ever dove into just because I thought it was so beautiful. I had to kind of try it out. So if you're looking to get into coloured lips, this is definitely the way forward because they're really glossy and moisturising, and you don't even feel like you've got them on your lips at all. I totally forget about it sometimes, which is quite bad because then you'll like sit and like smudge it all over your hands or something like that. I just absolutely love, love, love this shade, and there is a giveaway of one of these going on my website at the moment, so if you fancy getting into that, I will leave a link below. Meet my Paul & Joe brush holder. Isn't this thing so, so so beautiful. It has 2 compartments in here, so I like to put like my face brushes in one and my eye brushes in the other, but it is a bit small, so you don't want to have like too many brushes in here, especially face brushes, which are quite thick. So I kind of have my daily brush essentials in here. It's just so pretty, look at it, it's so beautiful. I've never seen like such a beautiful brush holder. I'm currently working on finishing my diptyque candle so I can put more brushes in here, but this is just, I need to get another one of these. I'm like staring at it now being like, yeah, I need another one of you because you are just so beautiful. Speaking of brushes, I have a question. If you just had to have one face brush, just one to do everything like foundation, concealer, bronzer, blusher, everything, which one would it be? Because I found mine, and this is the Daniel Sandler water brush. This brush does everything. It does your foundation, you can like buff it in, does your concealer, goes really fine under the eyes, does your contour, does your bronzer, does your blush, like it's amazing. If I had to have one brush, like the only one would like limit me to that, but if I did have to have one brush to do my entire face, this would definitely be it. It's really especially fantastic for like pressing powder into the skin to kind of set concealer as well. I love using it for contour, I love using it for under my eyes, like absolutely everything. If I had to have one brush, I've said that 100 times already, but if I had to have one brush, it would be this one. It was like secret sharing time on Liana Beauty recently, and I shared my smoky eye cat flick secret, and these are my special best friend post-it notes. This is what helps me get my smoky eyes done, especially when it comes to liquid liner as well. So I kind of pop them where I would imagine like a little invisible line going from the edge of my eye all the way to the edge of my brow, and that's where I put them. And then it kind of acts as like a barrier for any kind of shadow fallout and leaves you with a really nice clean line, which I kind of buff around the edges with a fluffy brush just to make it not look like super neat. And especially with black eyeliner, it just makes the whole process so much easier. I feel like everyone remembers their first Benefit product. Maybe that's just me, but I remember my first Benefit product was Dr. Feelgood, and it was like in a pot, and it had that sponge, and it was like a primer, and I don't even think I knew what it was at the time. I was just like putting it all over my face because it felt nice, and then the sponge got like really dirty and I was still using it, which I definitely shouldn't. And then my second Benefit product was actually called Bath Tina, and it had another sponge which got really grubby, and then this kind of like solid perfume glittery kind of body moisturizer stuff, and you'd like take the sponge, swipe it in the product, and then swipe it on your legs, and I absolutely loved it. And I still remember how much I loved the smell to that day, and I think they still have that product around, but I was really happy to see they brought this out, and this is the actual body oil of the product I used to use when I was like 15 or something like that. I've kept it in the packaging just to show you how beautiful the packaging is, because I think it's really special, even though it will probably end up in the bin, but you kind of open it like this and then the product comes out. I just, oh, it's so cute. Even if you don't like it, just look how cute it is. Look at that pretty pink packaging. I am an absolute body oil addict, but this is my current favorite at the moment, and not only for the pretty super cute packaging, but also because there's one thing about this that stood out to me, and that was I only need like one spray for my arm and one spray for my other arm and then one spray for my legs, and it will cover the kind of whole area, which I thought was really good because you're not like constantly pumping out stuff like you are with the This Works Skin Deep Dry Leg Oil. Also, the smell of this is so gorgeous. It's really girly, but it's not too overwhelming, and it's really nice and kind of uplifts your mood a little bit. The oil itself kind of has a little bit of an illuminating property as well in it, which I really like, and it is super hydrating. So I think this is one of my favorite Benefit launches this year. My friends and I are always getting ready together, and I actually did film it, and if you haven't seen that, I will put a link in the description box so you can go and see all of us getting ready together, because I really enjoyed filming that video. But as they were seeing me getting ready, I was popping on my powder, and one of my friends was literally like, her jaw dropped, and she was like, that has just like blurred everything on your face. She was like, that powder is an Instagram effect for your face. And I was like, you know what, it is. I was like, I'm okay with that. I was like, freaking love this powder. And I'd like you to guess what powder it is now, because it is the powder that matches up to my all-time favorite foundation, Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, and it is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk powder. What a surprise. I love the matching powder to the foundation I ramble on about all the time. This is like the unpowder powder. Like, it sets your foundation but doesn't make you look overly matte. It kind of adds a luminous glow whilst kind of adding that extra boost of longevity that you want from a powder. Also, it is absolutely incredible at setting concealer because it's so lightweight. And if my friends notice the difference when I'm putting this on, that means it's like an A-star product. I've been trying to be a little bit healthier this month, so that's been going well so far. I've been like downing the dose of dairy and gluten, but I do love my kind of sweet things, and I try to find recipes that like didn't have as much dairy and gluten in them but still were like fun and exciting. And I actually ended up making dairy and gluten-free crepes, which, if I may say so myself, were pretty yummy. The recipe is on my website, which will be linked below if you fancy having a go at these. They're really simple. I kind of make a batch and then just keep adding some every morning and making some, and adding a little bit of agave nectar as opposed to honey, and then some kind of like strawberries and raspberries and blueberries just to like spicing it up a bit. They are really good, and I do feel much less guilty when I have them every day than I do with full-blown pancakes. So those are all my favorites. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've had a really good October. I'm really looking forward to November because I am headed to New York, which will be really exciting, so I'll make sure to do some videos there as well. I'll leave all my links below to my Twitter and my Instagram and all that kind of stuff, and I will see you soon.